G'day and welcome to another edition of BGA Golf Goss. I'm Christian over in Perth, where the weather is hopefully better than here. Kian, how are you in Perth?
I'm good. How's everyone?
What's the temperature over there?
I think it's about, let me check. It's about 16 today.
Well, it's not too much better. And then down where it's even colder, Mr. Wayne in Ballarat, how are you?
22.
22? There you go.
That's what the heater says.
Looks good outside, but doesn't feel as nice.
Well, we are.
Yeah, we are, and back to a little bit more of normal. I know I've been able to get out for a couple of games of golf, which I can talk about later, but we've also got more relaxed rules. Wayne, you're Mr. Presidente. We turn to you on these ones. How's the rules changing and club life going back to normal as of next week or the week after?
Monday. So so golf has been sort of reasonably back to normal. I know our club is still going off 1T starts, so there's a few limitations that are happening there. But as of Monday, the rules in Victoria get relaxed again. We're going back to we're allowed to have groups now of 50 rather than 20. So we'll probably end up looking at going back into a 2T start position. But probably the biggest thing that most golfers are really going to enjoy is we're back to the point where we can go into the club after your round of golf and just talk garbage about what happened. So you'll be able to get back into the club to actually have a drink. There still will be limitations on physical numbers of people allowed into certain rooms. There's still social distancing and all those bits and pieces. But in the past, the rules have been that only way you can have a drink is with a meal. They're relaxing that rule as of Monday. So it'd be a big positive for a lot of golfers out there who are having bad times who can now get in to have a drink and commiserate.
No, exactly. I mean, we had that at Moona Links, so we had a Club BGA event down there. So first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to Vicky Bronwyn and the team for looking after us and hosting us down there. It was an awesome day. We actually capped it at 20 golfers. And as you would have it, we had 21 people rock up. So as we know with the rules in Victoria, it was basically we capped it at 20 because that's the number you can have as a gathering of any sort. And because we were playing 36 holes, yes, 36 holes, we also booked the bistro for lunch. But because we had 21 golfers turn up, we had to shuffle tea times around. Luckily, again, the staff at Millings were catering to us. But for lunchtime, we then had to split the groups into half, and half went into one room and half had to go into another room. So that made it nice and fun, but it was an absolutely cracking day. But to your point, Wayne, being able to hang around afterwards, same thing. I mean, we had some prizes and other things that we gave away, and everyone said, "Oh, do you want us to hang around afterwards?" And we're like, where, in the car park, or what are you going to do? And some of the guys actually went to go back in afterwards, just small groups, and I'll say 5 or 6, and everything was shut. So we got through the 36 holes by 5 p.m. Obviously, Melbourne started getting dark, so went up again to try and have a drink with a couple of the boys, and everything was shut, pro shop, bars, the whole lot. So yes, it'd be nice to get back into a bit more of that club and membership culture, if you like, where we can actually stick around afterwards, have your prezos, or more so just catch up with your mates and have that drink.
Another big thing there is too is that it's clubs get the opportunity to start actually trying to make some money again. There's a lot of clubs out there who have made very, very minimal, and they're going to be struggling if it continues. So the opportunity there for members to support the clubs and have a few drinks, and the club to actually start making some income back again. So all been good.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things, to be honest, though, with that. So there's that side of things, and then talking to our guys in the pro shops, people coming through, and then probably the biggest one is a lot of people using the MyScore app. So we use Golf Genius scoring app. We use that on the day at Moona Links. Great software, by the way, because there's just so much you can do with it. So many different types of events you can play. So big thanks to the Golf Genius team. But also my club's come out with MyScore, which a lot of the clubs that have my club are using. And obviously that's led to, obviously great given the situation with COVID, but guys and girls aren't going back into the pro shop afterwards to hand in their cards. So that then, I guess, creates a lost opportunity for the pro shop and a lack of engagement with the members. They kind of come in, get out, play their golf, and they're gone without anyone sort of knowing. So
Yep.
I wonder if that will continue as far as using that. I know a lot of user experience suggests that they much prefer scorecards as opposed to the app. Give us your feedback below, by the way, if you've used the apps and whether you prefer apps or the the standard scorecards. But I wonder if clubs will revert back purely on the basis of trying to get those people to come back through the breezeways or in the pro shops and obviously engage more from a club level. Do you know what you guys are doing at Ballarat, Bueno?
Oh, we've been using cards, but basically you score your own card. So that'll probably stay in place for quite some time. I know with the BGA events that we've run, we've used the Golf Genius software, which is just bloody fantastic software it does. And it's the best part about it is that it gives you the ability to actually look at a live scoreboard while you're actually playing. So there's, I suppose, some pluses and minuses for both sides. Using the Golf Genius stuff, it's really quick and easy to do your scores. You've got that leaderboard, but traditionalist wise, is the scorecard. So there's probably going to be a combination there, I think, of both. As we get back to a bit more norm. So all good. Oh, now I've got. I know you hung shit on my shirt last time, so I've brought out a pearl for you this time.
Here we go. I thought you were just trying to look street for us. Wowzers!
Oh, look at that!
Wowzers! All right, Kian, I'll let you go first.
Wayne, I've got no comment. That is a shocker, mate. What are you doing?
It is a classic.
Right?
Is that it?
Your face is as red as that shirt at the moment. That's how embarrassed you are.
Another great shirt from the guys at Golf Gods.
Is that a full button shirt?
Sorry?
Is that full button up? Is that
No. It's only to there, so that's all. No, it's all good. We actually wore these shirts. We have a big event at our club every year, which is called Super Saturday, and then we had the whole team wearing these. The only problem was it was an absolute terrible day, and we had to wear jumpers most of the day. So we made sure we brought them out when we got back in the club. So another one of my favourite shirts. So moving on.
Looks good, Wayne. Keeps you looking young, mate.
I don't know. I don't know if I can move on. I'm a bit stuck.
Hey, so let's talk about the PGA Tour. That was back on last week. Kicked off on Thursday. Any thoughts on that? I mean, I know the TV broadcast offered or invited the players to mic up if they wished. I believe, Christian, only one player took it up.
Yeah, so interesting one, because since then it's come out that a lot of other players have said, hang on a second, no, I said I would mic up, and yet all these things are going out saying Rickie's the only one. So it seems as though they kind of put it out there to a limited number, and reading between the lines, Rickie was the only one to take it up. A lot of others did say that they would wear it if it continued. So the likes of Graham McDowell, Adam Hadwin, to name a couple. And then you had someone like Justin Thomas who came out and said, nah, absolutely under no conditions am I going to wear a mic, because what I talk about between my team is between us, and it's not for something. He goes, that's just me, that's my style. It's not my style to wear a mic or do something like that. So good on him for kind of staying in his lane, if you like. But at the same time, I think that's why a lot of people love Rickie, because he is, a bit more engaging. He gets it from a marketability standpoint. He gets it from a consumer engagement and progression standpoint. But in some ways, maybe it also comes back to why he doesn't win as much, because that killer instinct that we've talked about on one of our previous vlogs isn't quite there to the same as someone like a JT or some of the other guys.
Well, I know one person that won't be wearing a mic under his shirt.
You, because it's...
That's right. It's already distracting.
No. Did you see Bryson DeChompers?
Oh.
Like, there is no way he's going to fit a mic under his shirt because there's no bloody room.
Hey, can I just say, when I was watching him, I didn't think he looked any bigger. As in like muscular. I thought he looked bigger. But when he said he was going to go on this,
so you're calling him fat, Kian?
I thought he was more chubbier than what I expected. Because when he said he's going to muscle up, I thought he's going to do like a Kepler type, like Brooks is ripped, right? Like,
yeah.
I thought he's going to do that, but he looks a bit chubby.
There was actually a photo up there of a before and after, like before COVID, after COVID type thing, and it was just scary. Like he is just. Did you see the drives he was hitting? I think it.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but I saw something that said the 18 longest drives for the event. He had 17 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, for the
Still
entire
not
event.
helping him.
Well, he didn't help him, but yeah, he looks sort of so. He looks like Donald Trump having a swing now. The way he sort of like, yeah.
So, well, that's the thing. I mean, we all know he's quirky. We all know he definitely has his own lane. But does hitting your driver longer help you win? I mean, he was winning before, right? So it wasn't like he really needed to change or evolve to continue winning on tour. The courses aren't getting longer. If anything, that yes, they are having conversations about the ball. They're having conversations about the length of the holes, etc.
It's first round back, so I don't think it's you've really got.
He finished third.
He finished third, yeah, third.
Yeah.
He finished top 5, definitely. So
yeah, the problem was no one could putt. Everyone putted terribly, and that's why. Who won it? What's his name?
Daniel Berger.
Yeah, like he sort of snuck up out of nowhere, and
did you see that? So did you see how the other two gifted it to him?
Wow.
Yeah.
The lip outs.
Well, yeah, like Sharpley, the first one.
Did they give it to him, or was it the course? It seemed like someone was sitting under the hole. It was like Caddyshack. There's something under the hole throwing the ball back out.
You shouldn't aim at the lips, should you? You should aim at the hole.
Yeah, fair point.
Says Wayne with the monkey shirt.
Yeah, so it was great to be back. I did see a comment on social media that said it was so refreshing to actually watch golf and not hear Muppets yelling out mashed potato and all that sort of garbage that the Americans actually come out with. So that was, but it was just interesting to watch and see with no people around. It was that was quite interesting. But there was still, I suppose, a reasonable number around, which probably would have been TV broadcasters, rules officials. I suppose they can probably still let maybe major sponsors in and things like that. But yeah, it was just a different way of doing it. It'll be interesting as time goes on, what will actually happen.
It's also interesting. I mean, obviously our AFL kicked off as well, but you don't feel that there was much energy there. And even when you watch a footy and stuff like that, when you've got the crowd, it adds a whole different dynamic to the whole event.
Yeah.
And even at the golf, when they're not cheering because you've hit a shot really close or you've drained a long putt, it feels a bit weird. And that's what spectators add to the whole event, isn't it? It's just the energy that they bring to it. It's just great, I think. And that's what all live sports is all about.
And the other comment was that they said, remember, one of the pros said when they announced they're coming back with no crowds, he said there'll be a lot more balls lost because the crowds won't be there to actually help them look for
where the
ball actually landed. So, yeah.
Very true.
Good point.
Well, the other thing is, like, obviously the NRL, the AFL, they've actually simulating the crowd into the broadcasting. So that's been quite interesting. There's been mixed feedback on that as well. I know that I enjoyed it. I don't follow NRL, but when it came out, I turned over just to see how they simulated the crowd into it. And I thought it was great. It added so much more atmosphere. Even on the AFL games, when we watch the JLT matches, etc., or preseason games, you can just hear them on. It just feels like you're watching a training session. Whereas the difference between that and a real game is crowd. Round 1, for example, it just felt dead, because there were no crowds. At least with the broadcast having those crowd noises, it was a lot better. So I wonder if there's a way they can bring that into golf if they need to. Obviously, if the restrictions continue. But the other side, again, to what we said earlier about bringing that ambience, that atmosphere, is miking up the players. But obviously that's going to be a difficult one because it doesn't seem like everybody is on board with that.
Well, just to jump to footy for a sec, the crowd noise was actually pretty accurate for my Tigers playing Collingwood on Thursday night after the game, where it was just like dead silence, which normally what happens when there's a draw.
Yeah, no, that's true. What a crap game that was.
Yeah, no. 36 points. Wow. Real fun, wasn't it?
And from an industry standpoint, and again, leave your comments below if you can. Have you gone out and bought clubs recently? Because all the data coming out from a lot of the suppliers at the moment is saying record custom months. So whilst COVID's been in and lockdown's been there, even some, we know some off-course retailers closed their doors. So replan standard business from the golf world is pretty light on, but you consumers out there seem to be buying new sets of irons and clubs, because there are custom club records going off all over the place. Lead times have blown out to 3 weeks. We've had some out to 7 weeks. So leave a comment below. What are you buying?
I don't doubt that, because it's a case of like people have probably been at home and they've been bored, they can't play golf, and they're going, well, what golf website can I look at? Oh, there's some new clubs. Yeah, why not? Bang. And then people have been getting, like the JobKeeper payments and things like that. So it's a little bit extra cash they've got, and it's like, well, yeah, away we go. So it's
on the holiday, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know I did spend my my amount of money quite substantially. So when mine come through, so.
Nice.
No, it's good. And whoever's watching, thanks for the support.
Shirts?
I think the industry needs it, right? I mean, it's good that they're out there buying things and playing lots of golf, and look at joining a membership. If there's any information that you need from us to help you getting more into golf, let us know, and we'll be more than we'll be more than willing to help you find a golf club if you need, and get you somewhere and playing regularly, or join a group or whatever. So thanks for the support, and hope keep it up.
Keep it flowing. Yeah, so that's good. So there's one quick thing I was just going to mention about COVID, which was the guys I played golf with last Saturday were having an interesting conversation. Is when COVID, we get all over it and sort of get back to a little bit of normality, even though they're predicting we'll be with this for the next 2 years, but in probably a lesser form, is that the flag, the whole issue with the flag, like everyone at the moment is putting with the flag in. It was quite interesting, the conversation of, are you going to, once you're allowed to take it out, are you going to take it out, or are you now used to doing it? I know that I was probably a 50-50 person, so longer putts I'd always leave it in, shorter putts, if it was out, it was out, if it was in, it was in. Now it probably doesn't really worry me at all. The only funny thing I did see was that I know our club, we're using those foam cups at the bottom. Yep. And I saw footage of a guy who actually made a putt that actually went in the hole and bounced out.
So had exactly the same thing, played Eastern last Friday, and exactly the same thing happened. It actually rattled the pin and hit the foam and popped out. They actually had like a taller hole, if you like, but it actually wasn't the base of the cup that did the main damage. It was the fact the pin was in. Essentially, the wind was a little bit up, so it was pulling towards that way. And really, when you went up, the gap between the pin and the hole just wasn't there.
You just can't putt.
Yeah,
you just can't putt.
You just can't putt. Yeah, this guy plays off +1, so you can't putt. It wasn't me.
So look, we've had a little bit of feedback. We have was a few of with our videos that Christian actually rattled on too long. So we're actually working to a time frame today. So one of the things we are going to announce the next couple of weeks is we're going to get back into our BGA Mission Race to Mission Hill series. We may, as we've had discussions, we may get to the point where we may actually change the location, because probably at the moment China's probably not the place that is on everyone's bucket list.
So again, leave your comments below if there's a destination you have in mind. We are talking to our friends at CGE Golf, who are our sponsors and partners. And we'll be looking to try and change that location. But if you've got something in mind, King Island, New Zealand, Mauritius, let us know.
We still want to have an absolutely massively awesome prize. So please, let us know where you'd like to go. But we will, in the next couple of weeks, be announcing some dates for the next couple of events coming up. So look forward to that, and that should be good. And with that amazing prize at the end of it. So that's probably about it.
Sounds good. Thanks, lads. Wrap it up there and talk more. Look out for upcoming product reviews that we'll be doing as well, working with some of our major suppliers. Other than that, keep safe, keep golfing, and check out our social media pages. We did send a nice video of a golf swing today. If you can replicate that, send it through. Wayne, keep up those funky shirts. Love it. Expect to see something better next time. Keen, lift your game. That shirt's clearly not good enough.
All right, boys.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.